status with your team?
We are 100% vaccinated.
Good for you.
Any other questions?
Hey, Coach, hey, what type of gadgets are you looking after Jaylen Green and, of course, Kevin Porter Jr. this season coming up?
What type of what?
Gadgets, offensive gadgets, my fault.
Offensive gadgets for Jaylen and Scoop. I wouldn't say there's going to be too many gadgets as far as kind of special things that we're going to do for them. I think the style of play that I believe in and Rafael believes in is playing fast, playing with a bunch of space, letting those guys play to their strengths, getting the ball moving from side to side. If Scoop's bringing it up one side, get it to Jaylen on the other side, and vice versa. I think they can really play well and play to their strengths. So I don't think we have to do anything kind of tricky at all for those guys to play to their strengths. They're both good ball handlers, athletic, gifted players. So letting them do their thing and giving them some structure, but letting them play.
Stephen and Rafael, both of you, how important was the fact that players went to the Bahamas, worked out together? How much can that help? How much did it help? That kind of thing, both of you.
It was, their trip to the Bahamas was great for them to come together as a group. You think about the young guys that we have, some of which are from overseas, coming to a situation where we have established guys and older guys. So for them to want to do that at that point, usually that's a part where you're kind of thinking about your own game and thinking about your own skill development, but they were thinking more about like, how are we going to come together as a group? So, am I too close? So that was great. It was really, really good for them to want to go down there and do that.
I think one of the themes for this year is going to be that this group should really enjoy each other and have fun. And I fully intend to have fun. I think Coach does too. So I think it was, from that perspective, it was a great kickoff.
Stephen, how would you describe, not to look back at last year, how would you describe last year? And then much more importantly, does this feel in many ways like a new start and like how this organization, how this team, how you want to start things considering all the young talent you have?
Yeah, last year was challenging. It was. It started off one way, and then we had a bunch of changes and COVID and injuries and everything. I learned a lot last year, so there's not a feeling that last year is lost at all, because I learned a lot about a bunch of our guys as far as them sticking with it and playing hard at the end and who we can depend on, and then the older guys as far as, even though they were injured, staying with the group and being happy to be Rockets. And then we add our new guys who are kind of fitting right into what we finished with last year. So I'm super excited about the future of this group this season, and there's gonna be challenges just like there were last year, but there won't be built-in challenges that we had with COVID and testing and all of those other things that were even beyond all of the obvious challenges, made it even harder.
Stephen, as far as the guard rotation goes, do you have a sense yet of kind of how you're going to feel out balancing getting the new guys some minutes there, and whether you'll have to play Green and Porter together or try to stagger them?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to play together for sure, but as far as what it's going to look like, I'm not 100% sure. We have 5 days in Galveston where we're going to be putting guys in different positions, and it's going to be up to Rafael and I to kind of get a feel for who plays well together, who might not be able to play as well together, and I'm not going to make any decisions about starting lineup or playing groups or anything like that until I really get a feel for watching these guys, because pickup is very different than structured practice, and that's what we'll have for the next 5 days.
How do you talk about how you constructed the team? I know when we talked after the draft, you said you
expected that they'd be excited. So now they've gone through summer league. What's the personality you think of this team?
Yeah, I think it's young, energetic, and excited. I mean, I'm optimistic we're going to have fun because the group as a whole is already having fun. I mean, you guys are going to interact with them quite a bit, but these guys are going to enjoy media day. This isn't drudgery, and so I think that's the thing that stands out to me about this group is that kind of to a player, they're all looking at this year as an opportunity, as a fun opportunity for the rookies live out their dreams, for the vets to really take a step forward, and our vets are for the most part really young. But even for a guy like Eric Gordon to I don't want to say to remind everybody because no one's forgotten, but Eric's like truly elite. Eric's a guy who can do everything, and so I think he's looking forward to it as a year where he can be healthy and really and really put his stamp on a group. And from my perspective personally, I'm Eric's at a point in his career that every single other player on our team is trying to get to, and so that to me that's kind of this group is they all have these challenges in front of them, but I think they're all looking forward to them and expecting to achieve them and have fun doing so.
Stephen, how do you balance the pursuit of a win each night with doing whatever, whether it's the rotation who plays or what you run for developmental sake?
Yeah, that's a good question. The balance is going to be delicate for sure, but I really think that if we do things in a winning way every day and are really thoughtful about how we're going to go forward with this group as far as their individual development, as far as their development as a group, it makes it a little bit easier, but my job is to do what I can with this group so they can progress and get better. And day one probably will hopefully won't look anything like day 30, which won't look like day 90. So as long as we're progressing and improving, then I'm good. As far as like the wins and losses, we're gonna learn from both. So that's kind of the plan right now as far as the expectations are concerned.
Stephen, do you have times where these guys, these veterans, are more likely to win a close game in the last 5 minutes, but these young guys need the experience playing a close game in the last 5 minutes, so go developmental, go young guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a separation to me. It's a team. So like he was talking about Eric Gordon, there's going to be games where Eric Gordon's at the end of the game, and that's just what it is. And everybody will learn either by playing or by watching what Eric does down the stretch of a game. So it's like you're kind of alluding to, it's not an easy thing because it is a developmental type situation, but we're going to be doing everything we can to do things in a winning way. So whatever that means, that's what we're going to do.
Coach, what was some of the conversations you had with the players during the offseason about having that chip on their shoulder and trying to prove to everybody that last year wasn't who they really were?
Yeah, I guess those conversations, I mean, there's only a few guys. There's Tate, and there's KJ, and there's Armani, who really kind of went through the
KJ and Armani
lamb.
didn't. We're not nobody's coming back. Yeah. So I don't. I'm sorry to jump in, but I think the premise of the questions are just it's not. I don't think last year is something that is bothering this group at all, and no. I don't think it should because literally this group never, even the returning guys, they never played a single game together last year, which is really unique. So I don't think it's weighing us down for whatever it's worth.
So to that point, when you have a group of guys that's this young, you can almost, I don't want to say mold them, but you can almost like make this team what you want it. They're very young, they're very impressionable. How are you guys molding them and what are you trying to teach them? Again, just such a young group.
Yeah, well, we haven't really started yet. So first, tomorrow, it's going to be a hard practice, and it's going to be teaching them how to be professional and what it takes to be a winning team, and the grind that it's going to take for us to grow and be good. But we're also concentrating on a lot of off-the-court stuff as far as making sure that they are taken care of and they don't feel like they're lonely and they don't feel that we want them to feel like it's great to be a Rocket. So feeling like it's great to be a Rocket means a lot more than what we're going to be doing in practice for the next 5 days. It's team dinners, it's making sure that if a guy has an issue, there's somebody for him to talk to and all of those things. So it's different because we do have such young guys, but we also have older guys like Rafael was saying with Eric Gordon, and we also have DJ Augustine who has been through a lot, and those guys can impart their wisdom on our young group as well.
Can you talk about maybe how this feels a little bit different than maybe the start of last year for you in terms of just kind of, it just seems like there's a different kind of outlook on this thing.
Yeah, it's about as different from last year as it could possibly be. I think full stop. But it's exciting, and so I do think, I think, every year is every year is a different year. Every team is a different team. That just is. There's oftentimes commonalities, and in this instance, there probably aren't very many or any. But we're all lucky to be here, and it's a challenging job, but it's a really fun one. And so I think this group is going to really embrace it.
But you seem a little more relaxed, a little more at ease. Where's that coming from at this point?
I'm generally a relaxed at ease dude. So I'm not sure what I seemed like last year, but I don't know. Maybe to the extent it is, maybe it's just a little bit more comfortable, I guess. But I do my best in life to keep things in perspective. So I generally am not somebody who I don't get stressed actually.
You didn't smile as much, but you guys talk about growth, development, having fun. Where does winning factor in this?
So my belief is that if we're growing and we're developing and we're having fun and we're playing really hard, we'll win basketball games. I mean, to me, that's how it factors in. And I guess getting back to your earlier point, one of the nice things I think about this year and about this group is, we're very clearly a group that is trying to build something. And so when you're doing that, it's not all about the very end result. It's at least a little bit about the process. And so I think for us, a lot of the challenge is making sure that we stay focused on the process, and that, because that actually, especially in the NBA regular season, no one comes out undefeated, right? And so even if you have a super veteran team that is trying to win a championship, the best way to make that team successful is to focus on the process. Because during the regular season, if you just always wins and losses, you might actually lose sight of the goal, which is the win at the very end. It's easier in some respects to stay focused on the process when you have a group like this. I always think it's the right thing to do, but I think in this case, it's self-evident and something we've talked a lot about and we're really committed to.
Stephen, how has it been for you and the coaching staff over the offseason to kind of see stuff that worked last season, putting that together towards a new campaign?
It's been, like Rafael said, last year was so different. So we did evaluate quite a bit as far as what we were doing offensively and defensively, and we've made some changes and tweaks and that sort of thing. But to have a group that, number one, I think our roster really does fit the way that I want to play basketball offensively and defensively. So it does lend itself to a little bit more continuity than we had last year, and a little bit easier as far as what we can do with the group on both ends of the floor. But we're going to play fast. We're going to get to the rim. We're going to shoot threes offensively. We're going to get the ball moving. And then on defense, we're going to use the athleticism that we have. And we're going to use the Eric Gordons and Daniel Theis of the world and Danuel House who are good defenders. And we're going to grow the other guys into being good defenders. So that's kind of the vision right now. And I'm excited about it.
Rafael, you mentioned ultimately the goal is to win. How difficult will it be then, or Stephen, you can jump on this too, to have John Wall sitting there watching instead of winning and playing? And what went into that decision to have him watch games?
Yeah, I mean, I think, John and I will talk to you. Why don't we just save it for John? John and I are going to talk to you guys in a little bit. Well, why don't we just save it there? But yeah, remember the question, and I'm happy to answer it in 25 minutes. How's that?
Well, when Stephen was hired, it was for a completely different situation, and not to go back to last year, but this year, so much of what he was hired for, which was relationships with players, being able to develop players, that is key for everything you're trying to do right now. Watching him last year as a coach, how does he, in some ways, perfectly fit everything that you guys are trying to do now with this entirely new group?
Yeah, I would say going back, we took a long time to hire a coach, as you remember. And so one of the things that did really stand out about Stephen, you sure you don't want to answer this one?
I don't, but it was a great question. Great question.
One of the things that really stood out about Stephen was that he could coach teams at every iteration because he's a really, really smart guy, and he's a really, really nice man. And that fundamental combination, I think, lends itself to somebody who's going to be able to relate to veteran groups and younger groups and everything else. And he's going to, just by virtue of just sheer intellect, easily understand the difference and easily understand the goals. And that became evident through the very long interview process that was something that was really a strength of his. And we've just, to the extent that I've learned anything since the day we hired him, it's that we were right, that is for sure a strength of his. And so I guess I would say I'm not surprised that as we went through these changes, he ended up being the right person for us. And I think he's a very good fit with this group. And I think it's challenging, but I also think, the nature of professional sports is that it's competitive and it's challenging and it's on all of us. But it should be fun. And I think we have in place in Stephen the right person to really get through to this group and to and to start building something that could hopefully in time be really special.
Stephen, along those lines, can you put a figure on maybe how much you've grown since last year, how much you've evolved, how much you've changed maybe as a coach after 1 year as the guy running the show?
Yeah, I think I've maybe even told you this before. It's a completely different job than being an assistant coach. So going through 1 year, you're more comfortable, more confident. You know kind of what works and what doesn't. I've found my head coaching voice, which was something that I had to work on initially. So there's a lot that you learn in that first year. And through the adversities that we had last year, I grew and made some mistakes. And one thing that I try not to do is make the same mistake twice. So it'll be better for me just because I have that year under my belt and I'm not coming in as a first-time head coach anymore. I'm experienced.
When did you maybe have that light bulb moment where you said you found your voice, and can you define what that voice is?
I mean, there was so much change last year. I don't think I really found my head coach voice until towards the end of the season when we had all those young guys and they were just out there playing hard and we were just trying to figure out who was in the lineup and play as hard as we possibly can and kind of simplify things. But moving forward, I think building on that is important. It's important for me, it's important for the group, it's important for the organization to know that every player that we had last year got better. Every player that, as we went through the season, our team got better. And this summer, every player who was in Houston got better, and our group will get better as a result. So the improvement, my personal improvement, is very much attached to the improvement of the group.
What about you, Rafael? How do you view how you've evolved as a general manager after 1 year?
Last question.
Yeah, I mean, Steve and I are like, we're very similar, but we're also very different. My answer would be like, yeah, I'm the same dude. Like, I don't really think much has changed. I know people maybe a little bit better, especially the media. The funny thing is I knew most of the people in the front office pretty well, but maybe I know you guys better, so maybe my interaction with you guys is a little bit better, but, or a little bit different or whatever. But I think fundamentally, I don't think I've changed much. Yep.
Does anybody get that joke? You guys are pretty old. It's a tough one. What's it all about? What's he always gonna close out?
First question?
Hey, how was the whole summer been out the summer league and getting a chance to deal with the team? How has it been for you getting to training camp?
Yaz ligi nasıl geçti? Hazırlıklar nasıl geçti? Kampa hazır mısınız?
Evet. Yaz ligi benim için çok iyi geçti. Yani belki daha iyi olabilirdim. 4 maç oynadım. Elimden gelen en iyisini yaptım. Ve hazırlık sürecimiz de çok iyi geçiyor. Takım arkadaşlarımızla tanıştık. Daha çok ısındık. Herkes işte birbirini tanıdı. Güzel bir süreç geçti. Ve sezona işte bugün başlayacağız. Kampa giriyoruz bugün. İyi çalışıyoruz. Genç bir takımız. İyi bir takımız ve iletişimimiz çok iyi takım olarak. Sezona hazır hissediyoruz kendimizi.
Summer camp has been very productive. I played 4 games. I did my best. My teammates are great. My coaching staff is great. I feel ready for the season and the camp stage. We have a very young team, but we work very hard and we communicate really well as a team.
Alfred, what other accolades will we see from your offensive game?
Can you repeat the last part?
What other accolades will we see from your offensive game?
Ofensif oyununda nasıl bir gelişme bekliyorsun bu sezon için?
Şut çalışıyorum. Burada çok iyi individual koçlarımız var. Şutumu geliştirmeye çalışıyorum. Ayak oyunlarımı geliştirmeye çalışıyorum daha çok. Oyunuma hız katmaya çalışıyorum ve birazcık atletik olmaya çalışıyorum. Bunların üzerine çalışıyorum şu anda.
The biggest things I'm working on right now is shooting and quick feet and getting extremely quick, much faster than I have been. And we have a great coaching staff that works with me individually on those pieces.
How much time have you spent in Houston since summer league?
Yaz liginden beri ne kadar zaman geçirdin Houston'da?
4 hafta, 4 weeks.
How comfortable are you both here and also just with your teammates?
Houston'da ve takım arkadaşlarınla ne kadar rahatsın?
Çok rahatsız ya. Burada herkes genç olduğu için ve benim geçen seneki takım da buna benzeyen bir takımdı. Yani takım olarak çok gençtik. Ve burada da hepimizin çok iyi bir iletişimi var. Dışarı çıkıyoruz, maçlara gidiyoruz, NFL maçına gidiyoruz, beyzbol maçına gidiyoruz beraber. Eğleniyoruz yani.
I come from a very young team in Turkey, so and when I came here, I felt a very similar environment. We hang out a lot. We've been to Texans games, Astros games. We're trying to integrate into the city as much as I can.
Go ahead, Joe.
When you were younger and you watched the NBA, did you always have a dream of playing at this level? And when you watched the league before, what type of player did you envision yourself being if you got there?
Küçükken büyük ihtimalle NBA maçlarını izlemişsindir. Hep burada oynamayı hayal ettin ve hayal ettiysen kimin gibi oynamak isterdin küçükken?
Tabii ki de küçükten beri izliyorum ve hani çok tuhaf gerçekten çünkü oyunda oynuyordum yani oyunda oynuyorum 2K oynuyordum ve şu anda 2K'de oynadığım insanlarla aynı takımdayım ve bu çok heyecan verici bir durum.
Kimin gibi oynamak istersin?
Şu anki favori oyuncum Nikola Jokic ve gerçekten onu kendime çok benzetiyorum. Hem oyun stili olarak hem hayat yaşamı olarak. Ya onun gibi olmak isterim gerçekten çünkü başardığı şeyler bir Avrupalı oyuncu olarak çok büyük bence. Ben de onun gibi bir oyuncu olmak isterim ileride.
Jokovic.
Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic. Okay. He's been watching the NBA since he was little, and he's actually been playing a 2K game, the video game, and then he just can't believe that he's playing with the players that he played in the video games. But he's really developed his game over the times, and he's looking to exemplify the other European players in the NBA, like Nikola Jokic as well.
When you're taking your free throws and you're talking to the ball, what are you saying?
Serbest atışlarda kendi kendine bir şeyler diyorsun sana. Söyler misin ne diyorsun?
Bunu biliyorum ama bunu çok kişi soruyor. Ama bu benim meslek sırrım. Bunu söylemiyorum yani kimseye.
Many people ask me that question, but it is a top secret. Will just stay with me. Go ahead.
What was your first interaction like with Coach Silas?
Coach Silas'la iletişiminiz nasıl?
Yani şimdi söyleyeyim. Türkiye ile Amerikan yani Amerikan NBA antrenörleri ile Türkiye antrenörleri arasında çok fark var. Ve Coach Silas yani nasıl söyleyeyim? Dünyanın en iyi insanlarından biri. Gerçekten antrenör ama bize antrenör gibi değil, gerçekten arkadaş gibi davranıyor ve çok iyi iletişimimiz var. Beni evine davet etti, yemek yedik, çok iyi zaman geçiriyoruz beraber ve bize çok iyi yani çok sıcak davranıyor. Koçluktan öte bir arkadaş gibiyiz Coach Silas'la.
Coach is just like a friend to me. So he's, it's not like a coaching staff in Turkey where they look up to you like much in a higher regard, but it's like almost the equal. I went to his house, I had dinner with him. Very warm, very communicative. I feel very comfortable with him.
Buraya ilk geldiğimde yani çünkü çok farklı Türkiye Ligi'nden geldim ve gerçekten çok fark var aralarında Türk antrenörleriyle Amerikan antrenörleriyle. İlk gördüğümde ne yapacağımı bilemedim çünkü diyorsun NBA'ye geldin her şey farklı hani NBA koçu çok büyük bir insan olarak görüyorsun ama o gerçekten kendini öyle göstermiyor çünkü çok mütevazi çok davrandılar. O yüzden şu an arkadaş gibiyiz yani.
Coach was very down to earth, so I came here not expecting that because I looked up to my coaches like gods, like they're so much higher than me, and I'm here in the NBA, so am I going to look at even higher than that? Like when I met the coach, but it really didn't feel like it. He's like a friend. He's a mentor.
There was a report yesterday that Barb Turner is joining the organization. How helpful has she been to you through this process, and how helpful will she be going into the regular season since she's sticking around?
Turner'ın nasıl ilişkiniz nasıl ve siz sana yardımcı olabiliyor mu? Can you repeat the name?
Barb Turner.
Barbara Turner. Yeah. Barbara yani 15 yıl Türkiye'de yaşamış bir insan ve hani az çok oranın şeylerini Türkçe biliyor ve onunla çok iyi anlaşıyoruz. Çok iyi bir ilişkimiz var. Burayı da çok iyi bildiği için bana çok yardımcı oluyor. Ve sürekli beraberiz zaten bir yere bir şeye ihtiyacım olduğunu onu arıyorum ve zaten her şey bildiği için basketbolcu da olduğu için çoğu şeyde bilgisi var ve çok zaman geçiriyoruz burada.
We spent a lot of time together. I mean, she lived in Turkey for 15 years, speaks a little bit of Turkish and knows here really well. I mean, basketball really well. So I feel like I'm home when I'm with her around here.
Were you able to contribute to the team right away next season, specifically on the court?
Takımda gelecek sezon içerisinde nerede görüyorsun takım içerisinde kendini?
Buraya yani daha doğrusu NBA'ye bir yıldız olmak için geldim ve bu takımın da yıldızları arasında olmak istiyorum. Biliyorum çok iyi oyuncular var. Ben de o oyuncuların arasına girmek istiyorum ve bu takımda çok önemli bir rol almak istiyorum.
I want to be one of the stars of the team. I know there are many potential stars in this team, and I'm going to work hard to become one of them.
Playing in Turkey actually help you? What kind of benefits it comes with getting prepared and getting used to the physicality of the NBA?
Türkiye'deki basketbol seni nasıl hazırladı buraya? Yani biliyorsun ki NBA biraz daha fiziksel bir lig. Nasıl hazır görüyorsun kendini?
Ben yani küçüklüğümden beri hep büyüklerimle oynadım, büyüklerimle savaştım. Ve gerçekten ne zaman bir takıma gittiğimde benden daha iyi biri olduğunu düşünüyorsam her zaman onunla yarışmaya çalıştım ve bu yüzden kendimi daha çok geliştirdim. Türkiye'de sert bir ligdi. Tabii NBA kadar değil. NBA çok daha farklı her anlamda. Ama kendimi de buraya hazırlamaya çalışıyorum. Ve hazır hissediyorum kendimi daha doğrusu. Bunu sezon başladığında göreceğim. Belki zor zamanlar geçireceğim, bunu biliyorum. Ama üstesinden kalkmaya çalışacağım.
I've always played against bigger and stronger players in Turkey, and whenever I played against another team, I looked for the best players that they had, and I went against them, and I always competed against them. Turkish league is also a physical league, not as much as the NBA, but I'm getting stronger, I'm getting bigger, and I'm feeling ready. Of course, there will be times where I need to adjust, and when the time comes, I'm going to be ready.
There's a small Turkish community here in Houston. Have you connected with them? Do you have friends and family that are here, or are you here by yourself?
Buradaki Türk erkanıyla görüşme imkanın oldu mu, tanışma imkanın? Yani Türk insanlarıyla tanışma imkanın, görüşme.
Evet var. Buradan Türkiye'den benim abimin de arkadaşları var. Onlarla burada vakit geçiriyorum. Tanıdım yani. Çok insanla tanışmadım Türk ama birkaç tanıdığım Türk var. Ve onlarla da burada zaman geçiyorum. Onlar da uzun yıllardır burada yaşayan insanlar. Bana Houston'u öğretiyorlar.
I haven't met so many people, but my brother's friend is here, and he has been here, and he's been spending time with them. But he's also introducing me to people. He's aware of the Turkish community here, and he's looking to connect with them.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good. I'm back at, this caught me off guard. I'm back at 100%. I'm ready to get the season started.
Christian, is there anything that you did in the offseason to, I guess, preventative measures with that? So that
Yeah. I've worked with Houston. We took like a month or two off just to do, rehab, just to make sure, it should be better than it was last season. So we've been doing that, and it's been successful.
You might have been there if you not gotten injured. How do you look at that goal now?
Same goal. Doesn't change. Mindset doesn't change. Even more motivated now than before. I'm ready to get the season started.
Can you talk about the team that you guys had in camp? You're excited about it.
I'm excited. Yeah, feel like we have a nice group of young guys who are very, very talented. Jaylen Green has impressed me the most, just in terms of his versatility and him being able to shoot and him being able to drive and his athleticism. He's been impressive. And KP, he's been playing to his strengths. He's been playing the one and some 5-on-5. So we've been looking great, and I'm glad to see those guys, and they're all healthy. So we should be out, ready to run and gun. Thank you. Appreciate it.
How much did last season fuel you in the offseason, knowing how you all finished the season?
A lot. I think for the first time in my career, I see myself end up in trade talks after having a breakout season. So it's definitely new to me. But like I said before, I'm ready to get this season started. I'm even more motivated than I was before.
Hey, Christian, what are the things you worked on the most in the offseason?
Finishing, passing. Shooting. I feel like there were times where my shot would get kind of inconsistent. So I want to be able to shoot consistently, even though I shot a good percentage. I want to be able to do that, and my passing, be able to pass out of double teams. I think I'm gonna see a lot of more double teams coming my way this season. So that's something I have to be ready for.
You say that you're impressed by Jaylen's game. And I know when younger guys or just new guys come in, you want to test them to see what they're made of. Have you done that yet with them, or had you seen them play at all before you got on the court?
Yeah, I've seen them play. I've watched them before. Coaches told me to take a look at them even like before the draft. So I've definitely caught eye of them. But seeing it in person was even better. Playing with it was tremendous. So I'm excited for the season.
Under you, what position you play next season? I know last season you played both power forward and center, but now you guys signed Danuel Theis. Does it matter where you play?
No, not at all. I think with my game, it's become so positionless. And I've told Coach and Roth that, you know, I want to play 1 through 5. I want to be able to guard every position. So I think this year, you know, you should see me switch on to more ball screens defensively and taking the ball up the court, getting guys in more action. I just want to be more involved in the offense in terms of getting everybody involved.
See yourself blending with this young core of players?
Great. Like I said, we have a good young team. I feel like we're going to be able to run faster and get down the court faster than a lot of teams, just in terms of Jay Green's pace and KP's pace and Jae'Sean Tate's pace. You know, after him coming off a great season, I feel like we're going to be going up and down a lot.
What was the trip to the Bahamas like, and what did that do for you guys as far as team chemistry?
I feel like we just bonded a little bit. Can't really say too much about that, but we definitely just bonded.
You mentioned you're more motivated than ever. Can you just talk about how you planned on building off the success of last year that you had individually into this year?
Yeah, just work. My main thing is win. I'm not focused on All-Star game or what my individual goals are. I'm focused on more team goals, and you know, I feel like all the individual goals will come if we win. So that's what the most thing I'm focused on.
Christian, some of the players who were back, some of the players like yourself and Danuel that are back from last year's team that dealt with so many injuries last year, do you think people are forgetting just how good some of y'all were before you had to, you know, you were out on the court, but you were playing well below 100%?
Yeah, but then that comes with playing more games. I think I only gave you guys 41 games last year, so I expect to give you guys more games, and that's with everybody else. We dealt with a lot of injuries last year with certain guys and big name guys too. Eric Gordon, John was out for a little bit, and I was out for a tremendous stretch. So just everybody being healthy is going to be great for us.
Christian, last year you said that you came here because of Coach Silas and because he wanted you. How much did your relationship grow with him over the offseason?
A lot, actually. You know, he came to see me in Miami. He came to see me, you know, in certain places I was in training and working out. We've had dinner together. We've sat down. So for the first time in my career as a coach, you know, actually doing that much for me, it means a lot. And like I said before, I did come here for Silas. You know, he believed in me, and I believe in this organization.
Christian, can you talk about what's different about you this year? Just not just your growth, but how are you different this year than you were, say, a year ago?
I think I'm embracing more of a leadership role with the younger guys. So I think that's going to be a big thing for me. Even though I was more of a leader last year, but just, you know, with the veteran guys being out that we had, it's a role that I have to step in. I think I'm ready for.
Your main goal is winning, as you said, but this team will also emphasize development and play young guys. How do you feel about that, to have a guy like John Wall not play, to play young guys rather than veterans? While you're at a stage of your career when you're more of a veteran?
It's tough, actually, not seeing him play. You know, one of my brothers play, and we've been through a lot together, even through the season. It's tough, but he understands what's going on, and he knows what he has to do for himself and for the betterment of the team. And I think he's the fact that he wants to be around and be around all the young guys and help the younger guys out speaks a lot for him. So he's a great guy. He's always been great to me, and you could really learn a lot from John. So that's why I'll say with him. And in terms of, you know, the team and winning, we're a young team, but, you know, the aspect to go into every game should be win. So that's what I was trying to say.
Christian, what do you think the ceiling for this team could be for this upcoming season?
The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. I'm not going to tell you we're going to go 81-0 in the season, but the sky's the limit for us. If we stay together and we build on what we have right now, and we could bring in, you know, a little bit more talent, where the sky's the limit for us. And I think we're doing a great job, and I like where we're at right now, and I'm happy to be in Houston.
I know you say that individual goals are secondary, but do you see yourself as a star in this league, and what do you need to do to expand on your breakout season?
I believe I'm a star right now. And to expand, I think it comes with winning. I had a losing season last season. It's not a secret. And to prove who your worth and who you are in this league, I think you have to win, and that's what I'm focused on.
We'll take our last question from Zoom. Sean.
Michael Shapiro, go ahead, please.
Oh, hi, Christian. You mentioned Jaylen, you mentioned Kevin. What impresses you about their skill set, and how do you think you'll work well with them, or why do you think you'll work well with them?
I think KP's versatility and Jaylen's versatility, they both actually, play with each other, with KP's ability to pass and get other guys involved, and then his ability to score is crazy. And then you look at Jaylen Green's ability to push the ball down the floor and have that much speed and athleticism in transition. I think it goes well with my game because I run the floor. I like to pick and pop. I like to pick and roll. And with KP's vision and with Jaylen Green's versatility to shoot and score, I think it's going to open up the floor for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yep, appreciate it.
Right choice for you in free agency, a young kind of rebuilding team, and you're more of a veteran. Why was this the place for you?
First of all, the talks I had with Rafa and coach about the whole situation, the whole team. Then also I was fortunate to learn from Al Horford and Aaron Baines in Boston what it means to be a leader, veteran guy. So now I hope that I can give all those young guys here with Jaylen, Josh, and then also Usman and 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧 coming from Europe, hopefully help them adjust to the NBA and then develop and getting better year by year.
You were a little older when you first came over from Germany. Just how tough was the transition just culturally for you?
It's definitely a different ballgame over here. You've seen it this summer when Team USA players commented about FIBA. It's harder to score, it's different to play, it's definitely more physical. But it's also the game over here is just faster. It's way faster, it's like quicker shots, more athletic. And I would say in Europe, you play a system, you kind of play the shot clock longer until like 16, 20. And here, if you got open shots, you take it, you play fast. It's like this year, our goal is to play fast. We have athletic guys. So I think that's the biggest adjustment, just like how fast the game actually is compared to the game in Europe. Oh, okay. Sorry.
You've got a couple of guys who are 19 who are coming to this country for the first time. I guess what's the best advice that you could give them to just, I guess, get used to being in America the whole time?
I would say being like a sponge, like just absorb everything you see, like being around the team, like in practice, just even in practice when you stand on the sideline for a drill, like you got to pay attention. It's like it's really important just to see everything and learn everything. Ask questions. Like if you younger guys you don't understand or you have a question, ask a question. That's very important. And also, for me as a veteran guy now, I also try to talk to them as much as possible.
After watching what the team went through last year, when you were deciding to come here, was that a challenge for you as well to be able to improve the team going into this season?
Like I said, taking the veteran role, like being a leader on this team, was definitely something important for me. So now it's for us just getting better bond and definitely play better season than last year. For us, it's a lot about staying healthy. Last year were a lot of injuries. Like a lot of guys missed a lot of games. So for us, it's now get ready for the season. Like get in the weight room, do whatever movement, treatment you need to stay healthy throughout the year, so we can play all games as a team, and we don't have guys who miss a bunch of games.
How do you see your skill set fitting in with how the Rockets play?
My role is definitely going to be a defensive anchor. Like I said, that's what I did in Boston and then Chicago for a little bit. The centers always sees everything. Like on the pick and roll, I got to be vocal, I got to be loud, and then protect my teammates. Mistakes going to happen in the game, and then it's for me just be there, help my teammates out, and then also on the other way around, like we got to trust each other on the court, like especially on the defensive end. Mistakes happen, like I said, but we got to be there to to cover for each other.
So if you're a defensive center, do you see yourself playing alongside a Christian Wood, or how does that fit going to work?
Definitely. We can play together. Like I said, we're going to play fast. We want to get stops and just run. So we did. I played with double big lineup in Boston. I played alongside Vucevic in Chicago, similar, like spacing the court as Christian. For us now, it's going to be just learn how to play off each other, like to read the other guy. We play pick and roll. One guy's rolling, the other guy got to be spaced, so we don't like make the court small. It's for us just, like I said, for the next couple days, weeks, and then also the first games to learn how to play each other and like know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
What was your first impression of Coach Silas?
It's great. Like he's really communicative. He likes to talk with his players. He's around. He cares about the opinion of the players. So I think that's very important especially for younger team that they know, or young players, they know that coaches there like talks to them about whatever it is, and not just like don't give him a reason. Like coach is really around, talks to everybody, and then like I think every opinion matters to him.
When you look at the other personnel on this team, how good can this team be defensively in your opinion?
We can be really good. Like I said, the teams I've been around were always like top 5 defense in the league, and defense is about communication and trust. Like I said, if you make mistakes, it happens, but you got to communicate and can't be just like don't talk and communicate in defense. Like if a big guy doesn't call out the screen, like you get your teammate hurt. So it's all about this, and then like it's all about effort too. So like I said, we want to play fast. If we get stops, we can play fast. If we take the ball off the net every time, we can play fast.
Hey, Daniel, you and Alfred both play internationally. How much can y'all relate to each other?
Same for Usman as well. I think a lot. Like you can bring, when you play overseas, play in Europe, you bring your game here. It's different. You're unique kind of than other guys. So his skill set is big. Like he's a post player. Like he's strong. He reminded me when I saw him the first time of Enes Kanter. And so for him, like I said earlier, it's just now to absorb, be like a sponge, and learn how the NBA works.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, David, exactly how young does this team feel to you?
What was that?
How young does this team feel to you?
Very young. They got me. They're over here calling me Uncle Dave, and I don't feel old myself. So I mean, it's weird, but I'm excited.
Is there some? You just said. Is there some excitement with that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm excited to just grow with these young guys. Try to teach them what I know, and just to see them develop.
How's your wrist?
My wrist is 100%. It's back to normal.
What have you been able to do this offseason, and when did it get to the point where you were at 100%?
Rehab was easy. I mean, I had worse injuries, with my Achilles, and that's a 12-month recovery. So this was, I think, no more than two months. So this was easy to get through. Yeah, I'm back, I would say.
What were the reasons that you wanted to come back here?
It's just a young group, stability as well. I wanted to grow with these guys, and you know, I love Houston. I mean, Houston's a good place to play, and you know, it's warm, and I mean, it's a a group of guys that we have here.
Do you feel like you have anything improved this season, knowing that last year you were out with injury?
Yeah, I always feel like I have something to prove. You know, I've improved on my game, and I just want to go out there and just showcase what I've been working on. You know, with my three-point shooting, and just turning it up a notch.
Hey, David, can you talk about your relationship with Coach Silas? It seemed like last year you guys kind of developed a bond with each other, given everything that was going on.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Silas is a great coach. I learned a lot from him, and I think we've been building up the chemistry. He kind of knows my game and what I bring to the team. So I'm excited to get out there and just go to battle with him every game.
The first year coming back from an injury such as Achilles can be very difficult compared to the following year. Were there ways that you didn't feel entirely yourself last year that maybe you've gotten past?
Yeah, I mean, towards the beginning of last year, it was definitely always at the back of my head, the Achilles. Certain moves I couldn't do, well, I could do, but I was hesitant on doing. But I think I'm past that. I don't even think about the ankle, my Achilles injury anymore. I think that's actually my stronger leg at the moment. So I'm definitely past it.
Well, then, having had to go through everything it takes to come back, to lose time for another injury, kind of a freaky injury, getting hurt on a dunk, how difficult was that for you?
It was tough. I mean, because that's something I've been doing, you know, all my life is just, you know, dunking, and for me to just, you know, almost break my wrist off of it, it's definitely weird and shocking, but I'm good now, so that's the most important thing.
Why did you feel like you needed to play that game in Utah?
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough to watch. I mean, as a competitor, you want to get out there and just compete with the guys. You know, we're shorthanded, and, you know, guys are just going out there and leaving it all out there, so I didn't see why I couldn't, you know, just give them a lending hand. And like I said, I just wanted to get out there and just hoop.
David, the official was that the Rockets convened in the Bahamas to kind of work out and bond together.
Yeah, it was a good time to bond with the guys. It's another opportunity for us to do the same. Just going to training camp in Galveston and enjoying time to hanging out with them, and getting to know them a little bit better.
How do you view your role in this team?
My role, just doing what I do. Just going out there, just competing every night, just being the defender that we need. Hopefully be that 3-and-D guy, and just showing leadership roles and just teaching the younger guys what I do bring on the defensive end, and you know, just being a teacher for them.
You said the guys call you Uncle Dave, and clearly that's a fun thing that you guys have. How important is chemistry in a team in that situation?
Oh, it's very important to build that chemistry with the guys, just getting to know their tendencies and you know, what they bring to teams or their style of play, and I think we're only going to get closer to doing that.
How much are you looking forward to just being able to play in front of fans again? And what I mean by fans is there was a limited amount last year, but you know, this year it'll be a packed house.
Yeah, I definitely do miss playing in front of a full arena, and just playing in front of our fans, just hearing the arena being loud, and just giving us that extra boost that we need for as far as home court advantage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Virginia. Number 16.
I'm pretty good. It's a beautiful morning. First media day. It's lit. Honestly, we're young. Got a lot of potential. The sky's the limit. I just gotta put that work in, stay in the gym, be on the grind, and I think we can compete with every team in the NBA. We're young, fast, talented. So yeah.
Jaylen, how would you describe these first few months, just kind of getting used to everything, finding your way, but also knowing what this team, in a good sense, expects from you and how much they believe in you?
I think it's just been fun. It's really not nothing new because I was in the G League, so it's kind of like the same similarities. But now it's just at the highest level. But everything's been a lot of fun. Just working out, training, getting better, taking care of my body, and just learning. So yeah.
You walked in with a smile on your face. You've been smiling. You talk about how happy you are to be here.
It's a dream come true. I'm super happy. It's a blessing. So it's all I worked for, to be here in this moment. So I'm just gonna try to live it up.
Are you one of the guys calling Dave Nwaba Uncle Dave?
No, no, I'm not calling him Uncle Dave. I call him Dave.
Jaylen, I know you played in the G League. Okay, can you talk about just kind of your journey from draft day to now, what your summer's been like, what it's been like for you the past few months?
It's been it's actually kind of slowed down. During that time, like leading up to the draft, it was a lot like traveling and things like that. But now it's actually kind of slowed down. I can really just focus on hoop right now and just getting better and finding out things I need to work on going into season. So, yeah.
Hey, James, you describe the support you're going to have from Eric Gordon and John Wall. Just if mistakes happen, you can talk to those guys about anything?
Yeah, because, I mean, they've all been in this situation before. Eric Gordon's been on a leading team with James Harden and everybody, so he played with Grace and stuff like that. And then John, he was #1 pick. He came out of Kentucky. So, I mean, they all been there before. So, I mean, if I mess up, I know I'm going to have someone I can lean on. And on top of that, I have all my other teammates, too.
How did the time?
Oh.
How did the time in the G League? How has that helped with this transition for you?
I think it's helped a lot. Just learning how to be a pro on and off the court early. When I was supposed to be in college, I was learning how to become a pro. So I think that's helped out a lot. Picking up on routines and habits. So that's helped me out.
Your dynamic with Kevin Porter Jr. Have you got a chance to talk with him yet?
With KP?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking to him since before even in the bubble, when he was in the bubble. So I've been talking to him for a minute. But yeah, we starting to pick up. We started to get our chemistry down. Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
For a while. You've known for a while, whenever you started your NBA career, you'd be a real young guy.
Yeah.
To do it on a team with 3 other 19-year-olds, a 20-year-old, a 21-year-old, does it make it easier, more comfortable for you?
I think it for sure makes it more comfortable, just because there's a lot more of like growth for everyone on the team. Not everyone has reached their potential, and you can see everyone's potential in the building when we're in practice and stuff. So, yeah, it makes it a lot more comfortable.
How long have you been summer league going to take you to get back to 100% with your hamstring, and are you fully good to go now?
I got right on it. As soon as summer league was over, I went straight back to Houston, got straight to work. I say it took probably like 2 weeks, maybe 3. But yeah, everything's back healthy, normal, and I'm ready to go.
You've been able to observe, kind of pick up from Silas thus far. Obviously, training camp's about to start, but just the way he operates, how he's building a relationship with you.
Coach Silas likes to run. He likes to get out and just have fun. He's like we said, we're a young team. We got a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism, so we're gonna be able to get ahead of these players. I don't know, I jump these players, but we're gonna be able to for sure make them more tired. We're gonna be able to run a lot faster than them too. So yeah.
A lot has been made about your age and the other rookies' age, but do you feel like you all are a different set of rookies? You playing in the G League and 2 other players coming from overseas playing internationally?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm already in my second year. I know KJ in his second year, so it's like he kind of say he a vet, and I kind of feel like I'm a vet too in a way. But Yeah, I think I'm a different rookie for sure.
On a non-basketball related issue, there's been a lot of fashionable stars that have played for the Houston Rockets. Seems like you're kind of picking up the torch to be another one. How much do you enjoy that? And is that something you really want to build now that you're in the NBA?
Yeah, I love fashion. I love clothes, just putting things together. Yeah, it's gonna start picking up a lot more than what it is right now. But yeah, I love fashion.
Did you hear a lot from your outfit on draft night?
Yeah, a lot of good and bad. but it was good. It was all good. That was the main thing of that night. I wanted to be the topic of the talk of the draft, so I think I achieved that. So yeah. The bad, I heard a lot of bell bottoms. I heard I look like somebody off some old movies. I don't even know the movies. I wasn't even born for it yet. So yeah.
Who's gonna have the best tunnel fit this season coming up?
Tunnel fits?
Yeah, the best tunnel fit. Who's gonna have the best?
Me, for sure. You knew the answer though. Good.
Throughout the summer, you learned what you should work on. What is that?
Say it one more time.
You said you learned about yourself and what you need to work on. What is that? What did you do?
I just learned, cause in the bubble, the whole bubble situation, we were playing in half court and we wasn't really playing fast and stuff like that. So I had to get back on like attacking downhill more, making better reads coming down, pick and roll, next passes, my handle. When I came from the bubble, my handle was bad and my shot selection. So I just knew two things I needed to work on coming out the bubble, and then on top of that, after training camp and stuff like that, I knew what else I needed to work on.
Jaylen, what other NBA vets has reached out to you to want into the NBA?
I can't even think off the top of my head. I mean, there's a lot of vets that I've talked to in the past, like Russ. I mean, I play for his team coming up through AAU, so he's obviously reached out to me. I can't think of him right now. I'm sorry. My bad.
Obviously, you're really familiar with Josh's game, but what have you learned so far about your other two rookies, about Alpi and 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗖𝗧?
I love everyone's game. All the rookies that's coming in right now. 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗖𝗧, he's a shot blocker. He plays hard. He's gonna give 110 every time he steps on the floor. Alpi, he's a super fundamental big. He can really pass. He can shoot. He can get to the rim. He just has the full package as a big man. I think. Yeah.
How would you describe the energy on this team with so many young guys?
Static for sure. I mean, we got a whole bunch of energy. We got a whole bunch of different personalities, a lot of different swag. And I feel like everyone's just a dog. So I mean, that mentality is there. So obviously that energy is always gonna come.
David, you're talking about a lot of different things with fashion, and you're 19 years old and wanting to be great with the goals you listed. How do you prioritize all this stuff? How does this stuff fit in? Having fun on the court, off the court, and developing your game and helping this team grow and win games?
I think just keeping the main thing the main thing. The reason I'm here and the reason all this happened off the court, on the court, is because of basketball and how hard I work. So I mean, that's just gonna keep that the main thing. Keep working hard and hopefully get some wins this year. That's what the goal is. So yeah.
Do you allow yourself time to have fun and be 19?
Yeah. Of course, you got to. It's gonna drive you insane. I mean, you still gotta have fun, but keep it the main thing. Business, basketball. Good, you good.
This is your dream to make it to the NBA, and you're finally here. But you've also talked openly about wanting to be a superstar on that level. Has Coach Silas or Rafael Stone talked to you about what it'll take to move from being a rookie to being a superstar?
I mean, a little bit. Not too much yet. I don't think they want to put too much on me right now just because of like all the media that's been going on about how they want me to take over the team and stuff like that. I don't think they're really trying to like force it upon me. I think they want it to like happen naturally. And I seen Stone say that before too, in the interview during Summer League. So yeah, I want that for sure. And it's gonna happen. I just need to keep working. I'm young. I still got a lot of time. I got a lot to learn. So I'm just gonna take it grain of salt.
Jaylen, just from draft night to Summer League to now, how have you seen yourself develop as a playmaker, as a guy that can create for others as well?
I feel like I've always been a playmaker in high school. It's been slept on a little bit and in the bubble. I feel like I showed glimpses of passing in the bubble, but I think we're going to take it to another level this year. I feel like I'm going to have the ball in my hands a lot more. than I did in the bubble, and yeah.
We'll take our last here from Zoom.
Naveen, go ahead, please.
Hey, Jaylen, Mabuhay from the Philippines. You know, during Summer League, you mentioned a few times that you feel like, you know, you should have gone as the #1 pick. So I'm just curious, is that some sort of motivation for you to, you know, maybe win Rookie of the Year this season?
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal already as it is to get Rookie of the Year, but I mean, the fact that I didn't go #1, that's motivation still. Yeah. Next question.
Michael Shapiro.
Hey, Jaylen. What impresses you about Kevin's skill set as a point guard and a player in general, and why do you think that you two will be kind of a successful backcourt combo together?
I think we're both like kind of the same player. It's just he's a lefty and I'm a righty. So it's gonna be real fun. What impressed me about his game, he just has fun on the court. He's always making plays, looking to pass, and he'll go get a bucket on you too. So he kind of got the whole package. Good. Thank you, guys.
What's it like for you to be on such a very, very different team than the one you joined years ago?
Yeah, it's definitely different, but you know, I always tell people my role doesn't change, but I do have to speak up more. You know, in this league, it's all about having a good routine, and with a younger team, you got to focus in a lot more every day. So, you know, like in the past, you know, when you're on your winning team, all you do is come in every day, do what you need to do, and it's all about being a star in your role when you're on winning teams. Like you know what to do, and when you're on a young team like this, everybody has to find their roles. They have to figure themselves out. So that's where we're in.
Eric, you've been around a lot of coaches. You played for a lot of coaches. What makes Coach Silas the right guy for this mix of talent and young players that you have?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's good for us because it's really on us players to really hone in and figure out, you know, the things of what we need to do in the game. He allows us to play how we want to, and you know, he's very open to most coaches, and he gives us, you know, a style of play, and it's all about us players to really utilize what we have.
How do you plan on being helpful to the younger guys? Jaylen and some of the other rookies have mentioned you as something that they know that they can look to.
Yeah, I have to speak up every day. You know, I can't just go into every game. It's all about preparing for now. Everybody has to get to know their role, be a star at what they do, and it's going to be a progress. And because this is the youngest team I've ever been on, so it's definitely going to be different. And but we just need to be, as a young team, got to be very excited every day and enjoy the moment of getting better every day.
Obviously, you want to win and win big, and for players, the window to do that isn't always open. How do you view that as far as yourself being with this team right now?
Well, yeah, I'm a basketball player at the end of the day. I got to, you know, of course you want to win, and but we have to be able to do that right now. And you know, I know a lot of our teams really don't have a lot of high expectations right now, but we definitely have to work hard. And but I got to take the situation at hand, and but it's still going to be fun. I'm still going to play to win, and it's just that's just what our energy has to be every day.
So David and Nwaba said they call him Uncle Dave. You talking about young? What's your nickname they gave you?
No, I don't really have a nickname, really. You know, I hear OG and all that other stuff, but I really don't have too much of a nickname.
Hey, Eric, can you talk about the trip to Bahamas? I know you've been on teams and you guys have taken trips before. How was it different with this group this year?
Well, no, it's really no different. That's just a tradition that we've been doing for years and years, and it's good to have that, especially with a team like this. We got to, start getting familiar with one another as early as possible, and you can never get enough time on the court, learning from one another, and now starting tomorrow is really time to get going, and everybody, it's part of the learning process.
How frustrating was it to end the season the way you did, being injured, and how did that motivate you coming into this season?
Yeah, I mean, injuries is the worst part of the game, and for me, with the situation at hand, it just didn't make sense for me to rush back, and me and the team knew that, and it was time for me just to get right, take this long summer to get right, and look forward to like tomorrow. Looking forward to tomorrow to get ready for this season.
Were you healthy though towards the end of the season? I seen you shooting around a lot.
Yeah, I was shooting. I was moving around. But like I said, it wasn't a rush process. If I rushed, I could have played. But at this where we're at that situation, it didn't make sense.
You talk a lot about saying you have to speak up more. Were you uncomfortable doing that throughout your career, or is it just you just in a different position now?
Well, no, you definitely got to speak up. But like I said, I've been on more veteran teams since I've been here. We've been one of the oldest teams since I've been here, and when you're in this situation now where you have a lot of young guys and with not a lot of experience, you have to. And if you want to have a winning mentality and to move forward to getting better, I mean, that's just what I have to do.
You seem excited about what you're entering now, this part of the season. You guys haven't played any games. A veteran like you, do you imagine that at some point you might not want to be in a situation if they're not winning games?
Well, no, I'm just looking forward to being with these guys and growing with them. And that's, I can control whatever I have to control, what's far ahead of me. And I'm looking forward to being around this team and growing with them.
Can you describe what your first impression? Can you describe what your first impression was of each of the rookies so far? Not necessarily as basketball players, but just as people.
As people, they're great. I enjoy them. I'm definitely encouraged from what I've seen. And like I said, the season's different. It's going to be a longer process, and I'm just ready to see them grow.
Is there any concern at all, though, about just the chemistry and connection with these guys since they are so much younger? I mean, how do you work that out or work through that?
No, there's nothing to work out. We're all in this together. We're looking forward to, building and seeing how well we can be this season. To me, it's all about progression. Winning, it's the same thing on a winning team. It's all about, how can you gel towards the end of the year? And I expect to just, with this young team, to get better and better each game and better along the way of the season.
You were once a 19-year-old rookie. What are some things that you learned that year that you can pass along that you wish someone would have told you?
Well, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of growing pains, when you're that young, and when you're going to have to play a lot. But the one thing I always tell people is it's all about being consistent. Of course, you're going to have a bunch of ups and downs. You're going to have good games, and you're going to have some bad games. But it's a long season. Things can change day to day, and but you just want to stay even-keeled and get through because, you've been the man growing up before you get to the NBA, and now you're playing against all these talented guys, and you're going to have a couple bad games, and it's going to play with your mind a little bit, but that's just a part of it, and it's all about overcoming every obstacle.
Daniel, just how's the summer been for you overall, just getting back to the flow of playing and being a regular schedule?
The summer's been extremely well for me. I've been able to reconnect and really work on a few more things in my game. So this year should be a fun and exciting year. Can't wait to get going and have fun with my brothers.
What are some of the aspects of your game that you focused on?
I felt like my handling still needed a lot of work. Still worked on my jump shot. So and of course defending still. So and working more solely, being a better playmaker and a decision maker with the ball too.
At one point you were one of the younger guys on this team. Now you're kind of one of the vets. How different has that experience been for you?
I mean, none. I mean, we still got EG here, of course. So like EG, DJ Augustine. So those guys do a good job of making me forget about that. So basically, of course, we know we got the 19-year-olds, the younger guys. So, but they do a good job. They don't really too much talk about age. We really don't too much care about age. It's a job that we all got to come here to commit to and make sure that we get pieces done, good, bad, or ugly.
Does it feel very different for you, though, that you've been here for a while? When you first got here, you were the young guy just coming in. Now you kind of know the ropes better than everybody.
Yeah, I mean it's not different. It's excitement because maturity. You get to grow up again every year. You get to start over. So I'm basically going to take what I learned and take my mistakes and make sure that my younger brothers don't make the same mistakes that I made, in order to make sure that they're helping this team and make sure that they can succeed within their career.
How eager are you with the rest of the team to get out on the court and show that last year wasn't who you all really were?
Oh man, we eager, man. We just gonna take it one game at a time. We're not gonna press, and we just gonna stick to the script what the coaches have provided for us, and try to go out there and execute the game plan as best as possible.
How's the music career going?
Oh, music is going really good. I got a few songs that's that's finished. I'm gonna release them when the timing is right. I got songs with Zero, Powwow. I gotta get back up in the studio, or they call it the lab, with Don Key, Bun B. That's just quite a few names, you know. So my label's doing really good. Music is taking off. I just released 3 songs, or two songs. A song with me and Powwow that's doing really good on his album. Go check it out. Hall of Fame Hustler. Shout out to Powwow. And I'm really excited about it.
Zero and Paul Wall, and you're planning on recording with Bun B.
Yeah, I already talked to Bun B. When the times allow us to intertwine, we're gonna get it done, and Don Key. So.
Is that something you've always wanted to do?
To be honest with you, it's just a hidden talent. I just realized my family kind of pushed me to do it, because they feel like the words that I was saying, they was like, oh, you actually can make a good song. So my family has been like really, really supportive of everything. They've been the first one to listen to it, the first one to tell me if I need to focus more solely on basketball, or hey, you can record this song or so. You know what I'm saying? So my family's just been a good help overall, and really good structure for me to know that basketball is still first and music is second.
Did you get a chance to work out any with Jaylen Green this summer?
Yeah, all the time. That's my neighbor. I see Gerald all the time. That's my neighbor. I'm really, to be honest with you, the progress and the work that he's made this offseason, big hats and big ups to him too, because he had a terrible injury and he bounced back. Now he looked like he's 19.
So he still got the hops. He can get up like he needs that coach.
Yeah. Like when I was seeing everything and just seeing how much time and effort he put into his recovery and his court work with Kenny Ellis. So like it's really paying off.
You've had to deal with so much over the last 12 months. First being to the bubble, then this past season you had the health and safety protocols, you had the back spasms, you had the ankle sprain. I remember right before the Lakers series, Mike D'Antoni said that he felt like you could be one of the better players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, you've had so many just random things happen to you. Do you feel like this is sort of a fresh start, that maybe you can get back to who you were before everything has happened?
No, in this league you can never start over. Like honestly, like even only thing that can be revamped is your character. You know what I'm saying? Your character, because guys in this league work hard. Like that's a given. It's just the character. What I went through was just a slump of me showing people me, but not my true character. Of course, I let some family issues get into the way, but we all human. Like I said, I came up here, talked to my teammates. They forgave me about it, and I'm willing to just not revamp my image, just correct it, because it's. I mean, certain people feel like once you meet them and you make an impression that you're done, but it's other people that are willing and that are allowing you to give them a second chance to change the perspective and the narrative that they feel about you. So only thing I'm gonna control is changing the narrative of what people are willing to give me a second chance to. Other than that, I really can't control nothing else but try to show them that, hey, I was young Danuel House, I bumped my head, stuff happened, boom, I'm mature Danuel House now. So. It's just one day at a time, like I said, from like the eagerness to get out there to play. We just got to take everything, good and bad, on and off the court, one day at a time.
Can you talk about Coach Silas and what he means to the team and also just to your game?
He brings poise, composure. Like last year when we was down in games, like for him to sit up there to still do what he was doing. He keeps his composure. He brings confidence. He shows courage. He's a hard worker. He's a really good coach off the court. Like he really cares about his players and stuff like that. So like he's a player's coach. Coach Silas is a player's coach, and like everything that he stands for and that he's going to do, I'm for it.
Can you just talk about how good it feels to put on that Rockets uniform, especially being from Houston?
Man, it feels great. I'm from the age. You get an opportunity to represent the town, the state that you from, the city that you from, on front of a jersey is a blessing. No matter where you look at it, basketball, football, anything. So just to be able to put on this jersey and give people my Houstonian pride, it means a lot to me.
And it also helps when you get to go back and talk to kids in
Correct.
high school,
Correct.
middle school, because you can relate to what they've been through.
Correct, because I could just show them a different aspect. Yeah, certain people may feel like this is the way, but hey, if you stay down and stay true to your work ethic, you never know. This may be the way for you. I always be a leader, never a follower. That's what I would teach the kids, you know what I'm saying? Especially coming from my situation in my era, because I seen a lot. I could have went down the wrong path because I seen a lot, but chose the right thing, stuck to hard work, prayed to the man upstairs. Blessings fell in my lap.
In your music, is there a message you're trying to send, or do you just want people to have a good time off?
No, a good time. I feel like everybody always trying to message to people. I mean, like some people don't really need guidance. They just need someone to cheer them up because they probably had great parents. You know what I'm saying? So like my music is not gonna be, it's gonna be uplifting at times. It's gonna give you lessons at times, but it's gonna be energetic fun. It's about partying at the end of the day, the music, so.
Talk about a mature Danuel House. How much did your kids help you with that?
Man, my kids help me a lot. Like, as we speaking now, I have another one on the way. She can be, thank you, she can be here any day. So these kids, the kids, man, they bring joy.
Jackson, go ahead, please.
Hey, Danuel. With so many young guys now on this team, are you ready to kind of take on a bit more of a vocal leadership role in the locker room, kind of really trying to establish a culture for these guys as they're starting their NBA journey?
Yeah, of course. But most importantly, basketball is a communicative sport. The team that communicates to shut the other team down is going to most likely win that night, you know what I'm saying, if the shots are falling. But that's one thing that I have no problem doing, making sure that we talking to each other, being vocal as much as possible. If Ralph need me to carry a megaphone around here just to make sure that we winning some games to communicate with people, I'm going to do it. Whatever role the team needs me to step into to take in order to help this team, that's whatever I'm willing to do. This is more, it's bigger than just Houston. Like you said, I'm from here, so I want to give my home my all too. So when I play for my home, not the name on the back. I play for Houston too. You know what I'm saying? So being a vocal leader is probably going to be one of the biggest tasks for me this year as it being an older guy, but I'm willing to do it. Thank you.
Back to old school. No more video. Okay. Like this. Oh.
Hey, Kevin, just how was this overall summer for you, just going through the offseason, working out, getting better day by day?
I would say this has been a successful summer, off season for me, being like my first real off season. You know, I was rookie, and then Cleveland. So yeah, this is my first really off season to work and really push myself. And I'll say it was a good one for sure.
How much are you looking forward to playing with the new guys that the team added in the offseason?
I'm excited. You know, we're all young, we're all fast, and we all can push the pace. You know, I think that's our new way of playing, high tempo, really fast. And we're all young, so we all kind of organically have chemistry together. So.
Kevin, how much of a breath of fresh air has this organization been for you since coming in?
Yeah, this organization, you know, saved my life potentially. So definitely a big fresh air. And I just love being here, and I want to be here for a while. So.
Why did you say saved your life?
I needed a new scenery where I was at, and they picked me up when I was down. So.
Did you get a chance to work with any veteran point guard since you are learning that position still in the offseason?
Yeah, John, Dante Exum, DJ Augustine, and I have like a lot of, you know, point guards on other teams that give me advice, like James Harden, you know, Kyrie. There's a lot of guys I got advice from and that I'm learning from. And even, you know, guarding them last year, there was times where I learned a lot. You know, just the irritation and the manipulation of the game, like CP, him always talking and communicating, being disruptive with that, and just taking that and trying to basically do it myself. So yeah, a lot of learning.
Talk about this team picking you up when you were down. What about the time that you've been here, the investment they have in you? How much has that meant to you, and how much has they done for you?
Yeah, and that's another thing. They didn't just, you know, pick me up and just toss me anywhere. They gave me love and gave me confidence in myself and motivated my motivation to, you know, make myself a better player and a person. And they invested a lot in me, and I try to give them my all every day to repay them in some way. So.
Hey, Kevin, hey, how do you like the praise that you've been getting from NBA players, including like your trainer, Chris Brickley? They've been giving you a lot of praise about your game and stuff.
Yeah, Chris Brickley, like, he's another person that, you know, was a big part of my work ethic and how good I am or how good I can be. And Chris, like, blood can make us any closer. Like, he wants the best for me, so he pushes me to the limits. And I adore him for that because I need that in my life. And, you know, being young and getting the respect from the players is an honor because, like, these are players that you looked up to, that you've been watching since I was, 6, 7 years old. So being able to even give any feedback, let alone it be good feedback off of your game, it's a blessing. So.
And how has your on-court approach and mindset kind of changed going from the shooting guard position to the point guard position?
Honestly, like, I never seen myself as as a shooting guard or a point guard. I always see myself as a combo guard before I got here, because I always been able to play make, and my passing was always, to me, was one of the best things I can do. But a lot of people didn't see that because I wasn't able to play make a lot where I was at. So I feel like, coming here, it showed them that playmaking side, and it got everyone questioning, like, oh, he might be a point guard, but, like, I played point guard in high school, middle school. So, yeah, I always been confident at that kind of point guard spot, and I always had that mindset,
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
You talked about this organization being a breath of fresh air for you. How much did Coach Silas play in that, and how much did you talk to him in the offseason?
Yeah, so Coach Silas, like, he took me under his wing, and, like, we talked a lot. And it's not even about basketball all the time, it's about food, the beach, just regular, everyday conversations, and that means the most to me because, like, sometimes I don't want to think about basketball, like, a ritual for me on game days, don't think, don't see, or touch a ball until you get to the gym. So, like, just to balance, everything out and not be over eager when it's game time, because that's when I play the worst. When I'm thinking about the game every day, or I'm all night, can't go to sleep, waiting to play, too anxious, too eager, that's when I play my worst. So I try to balance it, but, like, conversations like that is what helped me, And he's here always, 24/7, so I know I have him one phone call away.
Along those same lines, how much of a help has John Lucas been to you since you've been here?
Yeah, so he's basically been the same kind of with at Silas, but more engaged. Like, he's there more, like, physically, and his presence is felt way more, of course. Anybody can say that about John Lucas. He's a unique guy, and you can't do nothing but love him. But, he's going to make your head hurt because he wants the best for you, and he's going to push you and push you and push you. So I love John Lucas, and he really has a big part of everything that's going on with me and this whole organization. So,
Do you feel like there's a belief in this organization in you that you didn't have in Cleveland?
No, I wouldn't say that, but how it all panned out, I feel like I'm just in a better, space, better role, and I'm just being used better, I would say. I feel like the beliefs, they both seen I could be a special talent, but, Houston just knew how to utilize me and nurture me and take care of me, basically. So.
We'll take our last two on Zoom.
Hey, Kevin. You mentioned that the Rockets organization pushed you to be a better player and a better person. How do you think you've become a better player and person since joining the Rockets?
I just changed up a lot of my everyday life kind of mechanics and tactics, just how I wake up every day, and what I praise to myself and what I praise to my family, just how I move, just how I interact with people, how I, react when things hit the fan, knowing my worth, knowing my value, all of that came with just being here because, I didn't know my worth or value where I was at before. So it helped me a lot, and I'm continue to grow, so, yeah.
Thank you.
Alikhan, go ahead, please.
Hey, Kevin, you talked about how kind of this organization saved your life, and you went into your relationships with John and Steven, but just in particular, what kind of structure or culture has this organization given you to allow you to have a good balance between your mental health and also playing basketball?
Mental health. I would say you know, my upbringing is different. So, you know, basketball was kind of that escape. So when I was in, you know, Cleveland, I couldn't really use it as an escape because that was kind of my most depression. So like coming here was literally like a 180 for me. So basketball, I can enjoy it again, you know. I can enjoy the weather out here. It's not cold, it's not 12 inches of snow. So, you know, just the scenery itself was beautiful, way beautiful. And you just feel the different energy just being in Houston and being a part of this family. And with that being said, like, I couldn't grow without this this move, without me coming here. I could, but it was gonna be a big wall versus a step. So. No. Like, I'm from Seattle, we get rain, but that's about it. We don't get snow, we don't get none of that. So it was a little too cold for me. And I just came from LA, so, you know, yeah. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is not me. But it's all good. It was good while it lasted. But, yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Hey, Jae'Sean, just from a defensive standpoint, how skilled do you think this team can be just from switching everything 1 to 5, you and Kenyon and all the other guys?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be very effective. We have a lot of guys that are similar heights, which makes switching easier. And we have a lot of guys that are capable to guard multiple positions as well. And, you know, with 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧 and Theis back there, and 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧 guarding the rim, I think it'll be easier for us to just switch.
After your season last year, how different was it this off-season, getting ready or doing whatever you went done basketball-wise to get ready, having had the experience you did?
Yeah, well, definitely easier because the gyms were actually open, you know, last year with the COVID. It was hard to get in gyms, especially if you weren't in an NBA facility. So I feel like this year, this is the first real full summer or off season that I had to really work on my game. You know, coming from overseas, going back to summer league, then having to turn around, go back. This was my first year to actually go back, watch film, dissect, and try to improve.
Last year that you needed to work on that you didn't know until you experienced?
No, there's a lot I have to learn. You know, just looking back a few years ago, I thought I knew everything, and there's just so much more that I have to, and I think that you never start learning in this profession if you want to continue to be better. I think the main thing is just the importance of making open shots and how important possessions are. I think that was the takeaway from this season. Say that again?
Were you surprised at how quickly the coaching staff kind of grew attached to you and made you a starter in your rookie season?
I wouldn't say I was surprised. I think that I was happy, but I put in the work in, and I feel like every night that they threw me out there, I showed I was more than capable, and that's why I started starting.
Last year you came in with a chip on your shoulder because you want to prove who you are. What motivates you now coming into this season?
Still proving who I am. You know, there's always still doubters. There's always still certain things that you have to prove. I wouldn't even say prove them wrong. It's just proving myself right. And I always say that I want to have a long career in the NBA. And you know, last year was a great start, but I'm nowhere near where I want to be.
Can you sense already, even without camp starting, there's a commitment from your young players to want to get better?
Yeah, definitely. I think that everybody's hungry. You talked about, you know, having a lot of young players. They're all ready to prove themselves. And, you know, we have a couple guys who've been, you know, 2-3 years, and they need to prove themselves. And, you know, nothing's really changed in the aspect of how I was answering questions last year. From top to bottom, this is still an organization that's still trying to prove things. And I'm just excited to see what steps we have taken from last year to this year.
What's the difference in you today versus 12 months ago? You're on the all-rookie team now. You came in here as kind of an unknown quantity.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. Like, people keep calling me the old man. I definitely feel like I've matured in basketball, but also just in everyday life. Just with that 1 year of experience, and just that's basically how I answer that.
How beneficial was the trip to the Bahamas?
Oh, it was very beneficial. I think that was, you know, a great time for us to, you know, get acclimated with each other and learn about each other, and just team bonding. And, you know, the closest teams win, and you need those things. You needed that off the court, especially with so many guys so many new guys. You know, it's a completely almost different team than we had last year. We had 20-something teammates. I had 20-something teammates last year. So just being able to, you know, kick back and pick each other's brains and have some laughs, it was pretty awesome.
How much did Coach Silas play in that?
Say that again.
So you talked about maturity earlier. How much did Coach Silas play in that?
I think he played a really, really huge role in that, because, you know, he let me learn from my own mistakes at times, and he also was in my corner when, you know, I needed to be corrected. But, you know, anytime your head coach gives you confidence to go out there and play through mistakes, that's gonna help with that.
Can you talk about what you worked on? You said you used to think you knew how to do everything. What is it that you worked on since last season? Areas you thought were
Yeah, just definitely just continue to focus on being a better shooter, just knocking down open shots, and you know, just right-hand finishes, getting to the rim in different ways. But like I said, all aspects of the game. I'm not really one to focus on one thing, you know, because the type of player I am, you know, any given night I could be at a different position.
Where do you feel like you kind of fit in with this group? You may only be in your second year, but you're significantly older than about half your team.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like at times. I know it's a big jump from 19 to 25, but, you know, we all listen to the same music. We all, you know, like the same things. We all can relate in different ways, and I think that's pretty awesome. You know, like, I don't ever feel like I'm out of place, even when I'm with some of the younger guys and the older guys. We keep talking about old guys. Like, I'm like middle of the pack. Yeah, like, there's still a lot more, you know. So.
Hey, Jae'Sean, since y'all all like the same thing, can y'all like translate that to the court? And since y'all's chemistry is building pretty strongly.
Yeah, and I think that was the whole goal of, you know, going to the Bahamas, and you know, the teams that win the most, they have that close bond, and there's no way to get that if you're only seeing each other, you know, 2-3 hours out the day at practice when it's about business. So that's the plan, and I think it's, you know, we're taking steps for that. We're still figuring each other out, you know, and you know, we're just taking it day by day, growing.
We'll take our last two from Zoom.
𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧, go ahead, please.
Hey, Jae'Sean, you're obviously not so new anymore. You played one whole season last year. Teams have a scouting report on you. Just based off of that, what do you expect for you to see this season defensively? And what are some of those things, because of, you know, the fact that teams are going to be able to focus more on you, that you've been working on?
Yeah, they're definitely going to try to make it harder for me to get back to my left hand. So just being confident in finishing with, you know, my right hand is going to be important. And it's not a question of if I can, it's just being confident enough to do it. And I think that we've put the work in, me and my team, and the Rockets have done that this offseason.
Jackson, go ahead, please.
Hey, Jae'Sean, with, you know, a lot of players on this team that really pride themselves defensively, you, David, Danuel Theis, you know, what do you think the defensive ceiling is for this group of guys?
I think we have some really lockdown defenders at, you know, different positions on the roster. Like you said, the ability of Dave Nwaba, like you can literally tell Dave to go out there and stand in front of anybody, and it's gonna be a tough night. Like if you ask anybody, he's just gonna keep working, and a lot of guys don't like to see that for 4 quarters. And you know, with DT and with DT protecting the basket, I think that's a piece that we were missing at certain times last year, and he just makes us even stronger.
Thank you, Jae'Sean.
Yep.
is it a decision that's good for you to not play but keep training and so on? Why is this something you were open to?
I think just ever since I came here, everything's been professional. Just being with the organization and talking to Rafael and talking to Coach Silas, we just all came together to feel like it was the best decision for both parts of our team to decide to make that decision. But it wasn't easy. It was tough. But and my job here is to be like a mentor, be a leadership, try to teach these young guys like how the NBA goes, and be here and be a support system throughout the whole season.
One thing I want to add is I personally felt like John sacrificed a ton for our group last year. And so when we were trying to figure this out, I wanted to make sure that we treated him really fairly. And because he was playing, like the plan last year was he wasn't supposed to play back-to-backs. And then like, I'm like looking up one day and like, yeah, we played last night, right? Like, why is John on the court? And so, but you know, and so, which I appreciated. Like that's not coming from a bad place. That's coming from a great place. But part of our conversations this summer was making sure that everybody ends up in as good a place as they possibly can, without people having to make sacrifices that they can't make, you know. And so. So anyway, but I did want to say that about what I felt like John did last year for us and how appreciative we are.
John, how hard was that for you, though, being the competitor that you are, and a lot of these young guys from this team look up to you a lot?
It's very tough. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been injured the last 2 years, so I didn't play. And then, like he just said, last year I was just super excited to be back on the court and be with a team that wanted me there, and be in a great season and play for these guys and play for the organization. So. I definitely tried to give everything I had last year and playing through injuries, and also, like you said, playing back-to-backs, because I just wanted to show that I was healthy, that I can play, and I still have a lot left in the tank.
Rafael, who initiated this and how difficult was it to come to this conclusion that y'all are at now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody initiated it. I mean, one thing I like about John, or one thing that's unique about John, is like we traded for him. We didn't know each other. So we traded for him, and then we sat down he flew in, we sat down the next day, and I think downstairs, and we got kicked out of like 2 bars because we weren't dressed appropriately. But we sat down, we had a glass of wine, and we talked for like hours. And one thing that's been really good about our relationship this whole time is we just talk. And so we talked at the end of last year, we talked this summer. You know, it's just talking and talking and talking, because you want to make sure you're always on the same page. And so I think from my perspective, I don't know that hard is the right word. At least I think we're talking about maybe 2 different things, but in terms of our communication, it's always been very easy. And so then the challenge just becomes what can we find that works for everybody, not just for everybody like for 1 minute, but works for the long term. And so at least, you know, and it's not like our communication is going to end today. That communication is going to continue for so long as for sure for so long as he plays for us, and then hopefully for a long time afterwards.
Rafael, I know you guys are focused on finding John a new home, but have you guys closed off the idea of pursuing a buyout?
Yeah, I don't think I don't want to speak for John, so John can speak for John. I can tell you organizationally, we don't have any interest in this at this time. We'll keep talking and everything else, but I don't, you know, that doesn't make, I don't think that makes sense for John. I don't think it makes sense for us. So we're going to find things that make sense for both parties, as opposed to something that doesn't make any sense for either.
What changed from, I believe it was during the exit interview to end off the season, you said John was really, really happy to come back, and now we have this situation that we're in.
I mean, I think he was, and I think he is. Like, again, what changed is just we had a bunch of conversations about what's best for John and what's best for us, and how to find a happy median. So, and we were having those, but real life happens, and so it's, you know, I don't want to suggest that we weren't having those conversations in May or whatever. We were, but real life happens, and your perspective changes, and other things happen in his life, and looking at opportunities, and for our team, and looking at opportunities, and that's why you keep talking, and that's why you try and find things, you know, that work for you now, and the world might change again, and then we're just going to talk, you know, like I do think the thing I appreciate the most about John is how easy he is to discuss things with on kind of a very real level. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Is this arrangement potentially subject to change if there are injuries, if something changes with the team's outlook? Is there anything that might change it moving forward?
I mean, all I would say is that we talk. So like anytime you're talking and communicating, you're talking and communicating. But I think what we found, we think is going to work for the foreseeable future. I can't give you more, at least from my perspective, I can't give you more than that. I don't know if you have a thought.
No, not really. Basically, like what we spoke on, like he said, we both just been having conversations. The season's been over, and then going through summer league and going through the draft and things like that. We just been talking and figuring out through both groups of our parties, and we both decided it's the best situation to do what we're doing. And like I said, while I'm here, I'm going to continue to work out, prepare myself for whatever situation comes my way. But just help these young guys out as much as possible. Like teach them everything I learned throughout these last 12 to 13 years I've been in the NBA, and teach them how to be a pro on and off the court, and then critique their game and try to help them get better day by day.
Can you talk about the young guys? John, can you talk about the young guys, what you've seen in them, and what kind of things that you want to make sure they understand about the business in the game?
Well, for one, the aspect they have a lot more access to a lot of things than we had when I first came into the league, and then the league is totally different now. Especially with Jaylen Green, he had the opportunity to play in the G League, so he had the opportunity to understand what the NBA lifestyle is like a little bit, even though they was in the bubble. He has a lot of talent, and watching and see him and Josh Christopher and two guys we drafted from overseas. Then you watch KJ getting better throughout all last year and this summer. Those guys have a lot of potential to keep getting better. And with the way they develop guys here and the way they put the work ethic in every day of getting them stronger, making sure they're getting better on the basketball court, those are the perfect things. Now the most important thing is learning how to control yourself off the court and don't do anything bad. But as basketball players, they're doing the right thing to develop.
John, what is it that you want long-term out of this arrangement?
What do I want long-term?
Long-term, what are you looking for out of this arrangement with the Rockets, and where do you want to end up?
I have no idea where I want to end up. Like I said, we're going to continue to talk and figure that out. But right now, my job is to be here with this team, work out every day, lead these guys as much as possible, and teach them everything I've learned. And the most important thing for me is just trying to stay healthy. That's the most important thing for me is just to stay healthy, keep working out, and figure out what the future holds.
So how important is it for you to find that place where you can be the player you still believe you can be?
I feel like I did it here last year. You know what I mean? I feel like I did it here last year. I think, you know what I mean, we had things going when I first got here with trades going on, and then we had a lot of injuries last year when we had a good winning streak going, and then it was tough for them after that. We just a team fighting from behind most of the year. But I feel like here I can do the same thing, but I still know how much I have left in the tank, and I believe in my abilities.
Yeah, let me jump in. I know how much he has left in the tank. John Wall is a basketball player who every single team in this would make every single team in the NBA better. And there's not a doubt in my mind about that, nor in the other GMs. Like, there's a whole lot of stuff that goes into constructing rosters and making everything work that has nothing to do with how good you are. No one questions how good John is.
John, is it going to be like for you to practice, feel good, play hard, and then opening night in Minnesota, not put on a uniform?
It's going to be tough, but, like, I understand the situation I'm in and the position we put ourselves in, and we both came to agreement. I mean, like, we understand where we are. And like I said, my job is to be a veteran here, be a presence for these guys until something happens. And, you know, nobody knows when that will be, but my job is to mentor these guys as much as possible, keep myself in shape and prepare myself for whenever I get the call or if I do.
John, how healthy are you, and what did you work on this offseason?
I'm healthy. I'm good. I worked on everything. I mean, this is probably my first summer since last year where I really had the opportunity to really work out. And we had a longer summer than we probably wanted to expect, but it is what it is, and I've been there before. But I just changed my diet a lot, and I just worked on my game, every aspect of it.
Hey, Ron, has any traction picked up for John? And John, what are the things you like from Jaylen Green?
Yeah, I'm not going to, I just, not having to, with respect to this, I just don't talk about trade conversations, so I'm not going to talk about that.
With Jaylen, I love everything about his game. You know, I mean, he's a quick first step, athletic, can shoot the ball. He showed me he can handle the ball a lot better than I probably thought he could. But only thing I'd probably say with him is just getting stronger. Other than that, he has all the tools on the offense end to score the ball, and he has the athleticism to be a great defender also.
John, are you going to travel with the team? Will you be with them every single day?
Yes.
And at games too?
Yes.
Road games?
Yes. Yeah, like
I'm still part of the team.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. You guys don't like he's important. He's not like a part. He's like an important part. Like just so you guys know, like we're leaning on John. Like John's a rock. Like that's my dude. Like yeah, we're in it together.
Hey, Rocco, can you talk about just the fact that you can have this kind of relationship, what it says about the kind of organization the Rockets are, and how relationship you want to have with players?
Yeah, I mean, I think John's emblematic of the relationship that I think you should be trying to achieve, at least with all your players. But it's different. Like, John's a grown-up. like he's got kids and he's a great dad. Like a random anecdote, I had friends at Summer League, and John and I were hanging out during the game, and he had his babies around and was watching them. And my friend came up to me afterwards and he said, I don't know anything about that dude, but I know he's a good guy because I watch him interact with his kids, and only good people interact with their kids like that. And so John, yeah. So anyway, the point is that you treat people where they are, and John came to me as an adult, and so we've had a great working relationship that hopefully is developing into a friendship that will last, for a long time. And that's the goal, is to have these types of relationships with all of our players. These, I think that there's a little bit of a myth that relationships between players and organizations are supposed to be dictatorial. That doesn't work. It never has. I was on the radio talking about when Bill Russell was playing, and there's all these anecdotes about how Bill Russell would read the newspaper while his teammates practiced because no one was ever told Bill Russell what to do. It was a partnership, and that's how all the best relationships are. They're partnerships, and so for sure, I feel like our relationship is a partnership. And that's what we need with all our guys. Now, with the younger guys, we have a lot more influence over them, and they need to learn a lot of things. And so it's a different partnership, but it's always still a partnership. And it is important organizationally that we be a place that treats all of our employees like partners, not just our players, but all of them, and that we be a place that people want to be. And you can't just want to be someplace when everything is perfect. You have to want to be someplace no matter what. That's what makes a good place or a good organization, and that we aspire to be that every day.
John, part of this then? Like, you traded James to the exact team he wanted to go to. You traded PJ where he wanted to go. Are you, and with John, are you trying to get that message around the league that?
No, it's not about the message. It's about the right way to deal with players and with colleagues, and we work together. Like, that's the right relationship for us to have. So no, I mean, I'm being transparent about the way we're trying to run our organization, but I'm not doing this to send a message. I'm doing it because or we are doing this, both of us, because we think it's the right thing for us collectively. But it also only works if John's a partner. Like, you have to meet in the middle. And so I also don't want to lose sight of that. John's been, since the second he got here, an awesome partner.
John, how was it to have the conversation, with Coach Silas?
It was very tough. Having a conversation with both of them was very tough. You know what I mean? Because since I came here, like I said, I've been in this league for 12 going on 13 years, I think, or 11 going on 12, 1 and 2. But everything's not promising. Things can change any type of way. And like he said, if you don't build a relationship with those main people, the main core, you can be put in bad situations. And since day one, I said it to him, and I said to Coach Silas that I praised them for giving me the respect and the honesty that we both gave each other, being honest with each other. And when we came and started talking, we didn't have to agree on the same page. I could have went different ways. They could have went different ways, and we wouldn't be here today having a conversation and being on good terms. And like he said, just having a partnership and just trying to build this friendship more and more past just being on the Rockets in this organization.
John, how's it been just being around Christian Wood and all the other guys that have been there for last season, going from step 1 to step 2, heading into the new season?
It's been good. It's been good. Just talking to them throughout the whole summer, just seeing those guys, seeing them work, seeing them put in the work to get better. Trying to tell them what I think, things that I seen last year and things that I know that can help him coming into this year, even between him and Kevin Porter and those guys. Jae'Sean Tate, like, that's my job, is to see what I think that these guys can excel their game at and make this team better. You know what I mean? It's going to be a young team that's going to be fun and exciting, getting up and down the court and running, and that's something you got to enjoy.
Do you have a wish list of preferred landing spots?
No, I ain't really been thinking on that for real.
Phil, was the point of your anecdote that reading the newspaper can make you an 11-time champion?
The point of my anecdote is that if you have Bill Russell, you're going to win. So, so make sure that make sure you keep things solid. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I prefer the other way.